He pulled out a lighter, lit the half-smoked cigarette, and took several deep drags until his emotions steadied. Then, without looking back, he walked toward the bank. The moment he entered, he began scanning for surveillance cameras. He approached the counter closest to a camera and deliberately asked the teller to withdraw $15 from his card. While the teller busied herself, he scribbled a note. When the teller handed over the cash, he slipped the note across. The teller's face paled instantly upon reading it, her eyes darting back to the note in disbelief. The teller's terrified reaction caught the manager's attention, who sensed something was wrong. Her instincts told her this man was dangerous. She quickly urged customers to leave, but her subtle actions were noticed by Qiang Ge. He stepped forward, addressing the crowd, politely asking them to exit the bank, but he also made a condition to the manager. Realizing the situation, the manager hurriedly repeated the request for everyone to leave. Qiang Ge returned to the counter, asking the teller to call the police. In her panic, the teller accidentally spilled scalding coffee. Not wanting to waste time, Qiang Ge vaulted over the counter. The terrified teller stumbled back, dropping the phone and pleading for mercy. Qiang Ge picked up the phone, apologizing to the teller, then dialed the police. When they asked for his demands, he claimed someone had stolen his disability benefits and he wanted his money back. But the police asked a critical question that threw him off. As a former Marine, Qiang Ge immediately sensed something was wrong. Glancing at the flickering surveillance monitors, he pieced it together. He swiftly dropped the phone, yanked out all the camera cables, and rushed to the windows, pulling down every curtain to block the view from outside. Then he ducked behind a desk, his mind racing with the fear of being targeted by a sniper. His emotions began to unravel. In a furious outburst, he shouted his demands. The frightened teller ran to the phone, but moments later, 2 officers appeared to approach the bank. Panicked, Qiang Ge hid behind the teller, using her as a shield against potential bullets. Seeing the armed police nearing, he grabbed the phone and crouched down. The teller, already frazzled by his erratic behavior, was on the verge of a breakdown. She offered to get money from the vault, asking how much he wanted and promising not to run. But Qiang Ge's response stunned her. He explained that his obsession with his money stemmed from his time as a Marine. After sustaining severe injuries in combat, he was forced to retire. The government promised monthly disability payments, but when he tried to claim them, the staff refused, accusing him of faking his injuries by recklessly charging into battle. They labeled it a scam. Qiang Ge was floored. How could they think he'd risk his life for a lie? As a disabled veteran, he couldn't find work, and with a wife and children to support, he desperately needed those funds. The teller, seeing him grow increasingly agitated, called for security to throw him out. This rejection planted the seed for his bank robbery plan. As Qiang Ge began explaining his motives, a loud knock suddenly echoed from the bank's door. The manager quickly intervened, shooing away the security guard who had come to relieve her. But Qiang Ge, his patience worn thin by the chaos, decided he'd had enough. To achieve his goal, he unzipped his backpack.